Good morning, welcome. Our official board meeting doesn't start until noon, but we are going to have a swearing in of one of our new board members. So Mrs. O'Connor. You want to do I need to call him to the mic like he's in trouble? Like to the principal's office.
Mr. Lee, if you join me up high.
You give her a mic.
Yeah, you want the. You're gonna go one.
How'd you grab that one? Grab that one.
Mr. Adi, so thankful this day has arrived. If you'll please raise your right hand. Do you say your name?
Isaac Adi.
Solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as a member of the Board of Education of the Lakota Local School District, Butler County, Ohio, to the best of your ability, and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and qualified. If so, say I do.
I do.
Very good. Congratulations, Mr. Adi. Let's give him one more round.
And because we cannot start until what we've advertised at 12 o'clock, you may now talk amongst yourselves for 10 minutes.
Thanks, love.
Thank you, Todd.
Maine. Both of them. Okay.
Oh,
It was nice y'all came over for it. Thank you.
Ready? Sorry. Okay, welcome back. It is now our official start time. So welcome to everybody who's on Zoom. We will start with Mrs. Logan. Would you please call the roll?
Mr. Lovell,
Here.
Mrs. O'Connor,
Here.
Mr. Pearl.
Here.
Mrs. Schaefer,
Here.
Mrs. Casper.
Here. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Mrs. Logan, when you're ready.
Mrs. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Pearl.
Yes.
Mr. Lovell,
Yes.
Mrs. Schaefer.
Yes.
Mrs. Casper.
Yes. This is the part of the meeting where we have our student spotlight, and we are going to have some students from choir come sing some carols, but we don't see them currently.
Their class started at noon, so I'm sure they're on their way up. I
Okay,
have a couple comments if you want me to jump down to.
sure. If you'd like to
All right.
jump down, we'll kind of go back and forth if you want to do superintendent's comments, because I'm saving my comments. for-
Save some time. If that's okay.
Sure.
Just real quick, thank you everybody for being here and congratulations to Mr. Adai. I do want to mention that obviously this is a new meeting. It's rare for us, but with December nights being what they are and how hard that is to get everybody together with some scheduling changes, I thought it'd be nice to have a little bit of a Christmas holiday spirit. And so that's why our students are coming. I know some of you in the crowd may have heard our students speak at Rotary on Friday, or I'm sorry, sing at Rotary Friday and on Chamber on Tuesday. So I'm not sure which kids were at Rotary, but I know that we had students from Ridge
Ridge was at the Chamber.
at Chamber, and obviously we'll have students from Plains here today. So I just thought it'd be nice for us to do that in terms of the holiday season as we go forward. That's all I had.
I think they're on their way in.
Perfect.
They also had students from
Could have
West
rambled
sing
another
at
20
the Power of the
seconds.
Purse as well.
Oh, that's right.
Here they come.
Against this wall here or right here?
Yeah.
Right here. Hi.
Should we go?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Go out there. Now they're going to be right there. I don't know.
I think so.
Okay.
There's seats for everybody. Bluetooth mode.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abby Miller, and I'm fire director at Plains. This is one of 3 classes that make up our 7th grade choir here at Plains. And we're going to sing 2 songs for you. The first one is called That's Business.
I see the presents underneath the little Christmas tree. And I'll wait all night till Santa comes to wake me from my dreams. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Jesus angels play outside, like angels in the snow. While Mom and Daddy share gifts and then mistletoe. And the wish all these simple things for everything they need. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I got this Christmas song in my heart. Candles burning in the dark. I'm thinking of the stockings by the Christmas tree. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I listen for the joy reindeer rocking on the roof. I fall asleep to all the lights, the wedding's coming soon. The only gift I'll ever need is joy and loving. Oh, that's Christmas to me. I got this Christmas song in my heart. The candles glowing in the dark. I'm hanging on stockings by the Christmas tree. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I got this Christmas song in my heart. The candles glowing in the dark. And then for years to come, that heart's now working. That's the love that Christmas can bring. Oh, why? That's Christmas to me.
Our next song is called On with the Snow. It is a medley of 3 songs: Sleigh Ride, Winter Wonderland, and Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow.
Just hear those sleigh bells ringing, choo choo. Come on, it's lovely, our first day on the green. Outside the snow is falling, your friends are running. Come on, it's lovely, our first day on the green. Giddy up, let's go, let's put the show. We're riding a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, it's grand, just hold your hand. We're riding along the song, the winter wonderland. Sleigh bells on the sleigh. tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow, we can build a snowman and pretend that he's Parson Brown. Yes, they are in there, once they know him. What you can do to top of your town. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since there's no place to go, let us go, let us go, let us go. When we finally kiss goodnight, I ain't going down in the snow. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying in my dearest little body. But as long as you love me so, let us know, let us know, let us know. Our cheeks are nice and rosy, lovely with you. We snuggle up together, ready to be. Let's take out those impulses, see what we're choosing. Come on, it's lovely when we're saying lovely when we're
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. You were excellent.
Maybe we should just end there. That was nice.
We're going to give them a minute to get back to class.
I'm yawning more.
A lot of hopping back and forth on the agenda. Next on the agenda is Board President's comment, and I am going to let Senator Lang take my time because he has something he would like to do.
Thank you, Madam President. I appreciate that. You know, when I first ran for political office back in 2003, I reached out to Senator Cates for some advice. And actually, I think he was here earlier. I don't know if he still is. But Gary Cates, Representative Cates at the time, told me this: whenever you get up to speak, never follow pets or kids, much less kids with such a great, amazing talent. I hope I can do an okay job. But, you know, those kids are a testament to the job you guys do and the quality of students at Lakota. Recently, on December 7th, you had a group of high school kids sing it at a special thing for our veterans. And it was so touching and so moving. The show that the performance they gave was just as good as the speaker that day. So thank you guys for your commitment to excellence. And I really want to thank Linda O'Connor and point out a special award she has recently gotten. Linda was recognized by the OSBA of one of the 5 top school board members in the state of Ohio. Now, I don't know the exact number. I do know there's over, I didn't know there's over 600 school districts, and I assume every district has a minimum of 5. Some have 7, and I think there's a few that have 9. So out of, let's say 3,500 board members, you were recognized as one of the premier ones, and I know why. Linda loves Lakotas. I know every board member here does. It's all she ever thinks about. Linda and my wife are dear beloved friends, so oftentimes we are together, and we have to stop Linda. Stop talking school boards. We're here on social, and she'll promise she will. Well, she lies sometimes. 5 minutes later, she's coming back. George, there's this funding. There's this issue we need to work on. Oftentimes, her husband and I are trying to watch the beloved St. Louis Cardinals defeat the much-hated Chicago Cubs, and Linda will interrupt in the bottom of the 9th inning, just as the game's about to end, Brad, just to try to get one more thing in about school districts. But Linda, I have a special award for you. Do I bring it back to you? I don't know the proper procedure. on behalf of all of the children, the students, the businesses, and the citizens of Westchester and Liberty, thank you for your service, and we are so proud of your award. Madam President, I have two more awards that I'd like to give. Michael Pearl and Brad Lovell. These guys have served Lakota with honor and distinction. We don't always agree, but I never question your motives or your heart. I know you guys are doing exactly what you believe to be in the best interest of the students, the faculty, the school district, and the business community. And look, running for office is a horrible job anyway. Running for school board is the worst. You have the hugest impact locally. No matter what you do, you're making a lot of people mad. So on behalf of the citizens of Westchester and Liberty, we thank you both for the service that you have did, and whatever you are doing in your future endeavors, I wish you well, and I have a special commendation for each of you as well. And Michael, thank you so much. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Lang.
Yeah. What
Thank
if
you,
we
Judge.
have Senator Lang and the three of you that he gave commentations to up here so we could get a group shot? Betsy's not here, and so Matt is filling in, and he's doing his best. With that.
We know we'll land on social media. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I need to move, so I'm not in picture.
You know, if you're behind it, right?
Thank you, George. Okay, where are we? Mrs. Logan, treasurer's comments?
Do you have more comments, Matt? Okay.
He had his time.
More than my time.
So under my comments, I want to follow along with, and I know that one thing that we forgot to mention at the last board meeting, we have a woman of excellence among us as well. And so I want to congratulate Kelly Casper, who received the Woman of Excellence Award. And we were all able to be there. And it was a very nice ceremony. And so congratulations, Kelly. on that award.
Logan, I was happy with the fact that it was not mentioned last week. It's got online.
And then the other, it's always nice to see folks recognized. And so that's a wonderful thing. And Linda, we were able to be there to see you up on stage at OSBA, and that was wonderful. And we love to see Lakota represented in that way. And we have two board members that I almost said this evening, but it's a little messed up on the time. That we have two board members here with us today that, I noticed when I was calling the roll, I'm thinking, last time the roll call will be this way for this meeting. So I just want to say that I have appreciated the time and the dedication that you two have given. And I know this job is not easy. And as one of the leadership team sitting up here up front, I thank you for your professionalism and dedication to the students of Lakota. And it's been an honor to be here and to work with you. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And then going on to business, under my section, last time under new business, we kind of talked about public records and the public records request. that we have gotten over the past few years. So I have laid at your table the log that we have for our public records request for fiscal year 2022, 2021, and 2020. So just so you can kind of get an idea of how many that we have had. And so if we go back to 2020, 15. Then when we step forward to 2021, it increased to 53. And then so far this year, we are at 55. So we talked a little bit about how it has increased. It has increased dramatically. And we also discussed how we have more involved our legal counsel in helping us through this process. And so we started that, I believe, back in August. And since that time, we have spent $13,162.50 on the additional support from legal for the public records request. And so when people say, well, how much has it cost? Well, this is the legal fees that we can point to, but there's also cost of employees to pull together the information. And so I don't have that logged. It's just part of what we do. And we add it to the list of the things that we have to get done. But that's the piece on the legal fees specifically. What we want to do with this moving forward, I think it's still a topic for discussion. But I also wanted to point out that there is a requirement that public officials are trained on public records once for every term. And how we've handled that in the past is I have been your designee and I sit through a 3-hour course to get that records training. And then we've had attorneys, I think you might remember Brody Conover came to one meeting and went through some training. I would also suggest that since we do have 2 brand new board members coming on in January, that we might think about maybe in February, bringing in someone to go through that with the entire board. And it would be part of a board meeting. I don't think it's bad for the community to hear that public records training as well. And maybe throw in some open meetings training additionally. So that's kind of some information that I pulled together. I don't know if you have questions related to this that I can hopefully answer.
Could we make that, since it's going to be a deep dive, could we make that one of our first work sessions
February.
Yeah.
going forward? I don't think it's a bad idea. Especially like you said, with 2 new board members coming on
Mhm.
to do
It's
something.
timely.
I think it would be a good idea. I
Mhm.
mean, January is going to be your organizational meeting. And so we can
February.
check and see if February would work. Mhm.
Questions for Jenny?
We're just focusing in on the 3 in the middle.
I'm sorry.
We're
He said he's just
the three
focusing on the
middle.
people in the middle.
Oh, no, I mean, I
He's already
appreciate,
thrown you aside, basically.
it's all good. I don't think my badge works anyways. No, I just appreciate the fact that we followed up on this. I appreciate you putting together the log. I know that you keep it, so it's naturally a public record, which we talked about before. I love that we also were able to get the legal as well, to understand the legal implications of it, which obviously all checks out. So again, I don't have anything to add other than that I think that this is a great way for us to remain transparent and be even more transparent with our community. So I look forward to seeing what the new board does with this and how they embrace it.
Anything else for Mrs. Logan? Okay, we now reach the first public comment. This is the first meeting where the new public comment policy goes into effect. Just a reminder, you must sign up to speak when you come in, which I believe we have some. You must speak only once. The first public comment is agenda items, and the second public comment is for anything that's on your mind. Have I missed? Is that the highlight of that policy? So what I have right now is Josh, is it Josh Cook? Is that correct? Who would like to speak on an agenda item? No. Josh must have changed his mind. Lisa Fair? And remember, you will need to remember to state your name and your address.
I'm assuming it's an agenda item, and that was a little bit confusing the way we signed in, but
Yeah,
I'm going to
I
take
was
it from
looking at
the
this
top
thinking-
of the agenda item of swearing in a new board member. So,
You're fine.
Lisa Fair, 4843 Long Drive. And it's been a couple years since I have been to a board meeting and spoke, but I thought that this was definitely the time to be able to say goodbye to a couple great board members and hello to a couple new members, and to also see Leo and his friends sing in the choir. But ultimately today, I really just wanted to say thanks to each and every one of you. This has been an incredibly challenging year, to say the least. The last 3 years have been, just crazy trying to navigate a global pandemic while also trying to please a deeply divided community. And, the thing that I know for sure, while we don't know what 2022 brings, what I know for sure is that we have a phenomenal superintendent and treasurer and communications team and great administrators. And my hope moving forward is that we can look at these highly innovative and qualified people. And even if we're uncertain about the world at large, I hope that we can put our faith and trust back in these folks so they can get back to the business of educating kids and, student achievement, and essentially making Lakota a destination district. I want to thank Brad Level for the past 4 years of his service. I think that Brad's experience in education, I think his philosophy of not saying no, but saying how might we get things done, has benefited our district greatly. And we've seen a lot of improvements, and I think we'd be hard pressed to find anyone who loves Lakota more than Brad. And I want to say thanks to Mike Pearl, who stepped up to serve when another board member was removed. In this last year, your energy and Mike's passion for kids and his love for all types of people, regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status. I mean, that has just really shown. I want to thank Michael for being a voice for the underdog, and for reminding us that all students deserve equal access to education, and it's our duty to provide that. So I really hope that your loving spirit continues to live within the board as we have new members next year. And finally, I just want to say that I hope that in 2022, we're able to start building bridges. We need to be able to focus on what we have in common and not our differences if we're going to heal next year. So thank you for your time and happy holidays.
Thank you. The Marcy Myers Addington. Excuse me.
Hi, Marcy Myers, Addington, 9581 Semaphore Court. Okay, so Lisa basically said everything I was going to say. Michael, thank you for stepping up. The little bit of time you've been on the board, I really appreciate all the work you've done. Brad, whatever you do, I know you're going to thrive, but I really appreciate you always questioning and making us as community members aware of things, and the transparency issue is really important. So I appreciate that. I think, with the team that we have, I think we're going to continue to do great things. I hope we stay on that path. In regards to the transparency in the public records, I saw that you said the amount. I don't know if you could also list like topics, or if you did that, because I would be curious on what the topics we are requesting. Is it curriculum? What is it? Because I think that's important for the public to know what are the requests being made. So I appreciate the work you do with that. My husband's an attorney. I went home and asked him about it. He goes, oh, that's like a whole bag of worms. So, I appreciate all that. So happy holidays. Good luck with everything, and I will see you in 2022.
Thank you.
Thank you. Those are the only three people I have signed up to speak. Mr. Kramer, you don't have another sheet. Okay. Okay, we're moving on to board updates. Mrs. Schaefer, Butler Tech.
All right. At the last meeting, I did not have an update for November, so I have a double update, but it's not too much. The November meeting covered Ag Ed that's happening with some Talawanda students who came in. They spoke about the work that they do with the animal education, as well as there's a lot of horse judging that takes place, and that they had won a national horse judging competition they were reserve grand champions. So congratulations to that group of students and all the work they do. And talked about, again, it's not just the hard skills that they learn, but all the soft skills and programs like that, which we know that always in education is so much of the work that's done. Another piece that was discussed was the trip to DC that happened, where we did some lobbying work. And part of that work was with Senate Bill 166 and the DRIVE Act. And part of that was looking at, with Butler Tech, they do the CDL class. And I think we talked about how they now even do the CDL testing because they saw a need and there was the delay in the testing. Well, one of the pieces of that was that if you were an 18-year-old who had your CDL license, you could drive across the state of Ohio. So you could drive from Cleveland to Cincinnati, but you couldn't drive across state lines. You couldn't drive from Cincinnati over to Covington. And so when we were in DC, that was one of the major topics that we addressed. We spent a lot of time, particularly in Portman's office, and then that was just recently passed. So Butler Tech is believing that they had a hand in that with all the lobbying work that they did. So we're gonna take a little bit of credit potentially in getting that passed. So we're very thankful that was recently passed, and that was a lot of work that was done. In our December meeting, we didn't have a lot of new topics. Our board president for Butler Tech has moved on to be a township trustee for Fairfield, Michael Birding, who served Fairfield. So we did a lot of thank yous with that. We also had the all boards meeting, which they always invite prior Butler Tech board members back. Linda was able to attend that. So we had that at our meeting this week. And we also just got back from the National Career Tech Education Conference. And so that went well. Butler Tech was able to present at that and did an excellent job. I think, from my opinion, their presentations were the best. And one of the best, I think, compliments is there was a group from Alaska who didn't even attend any of the Butler Tech sessions, but said from the buzz that they heard around the conference, they were scheduling a visit to Butler Tech because they'd heard so many great accolades just from all the people who'd attended that Butler Tech was doing such great things. They were going to schedule a visit from Alaska. So if you're willing to schedule a visit from Alaska to our area just based on the buzz when you didn't even get to a session, I think that's a pretty strong compliment to the work that they're doing. I do have our student success newsletter to pass out. There was a request made from Mrs. O'Connor to Butler Tech for the staffing levels for the last 5 years at Butler Tech, for Butler Tech to Lakota. So I wanted to share that with the rest of the board. In 2017, we had 27 staff members. In 2018, there were 28 with the addition of the exercise science class at West. In 2019, it was 27 staff members when we had a CBI instructor that was retired and not replaced. And we had a traveling exercise science teacher at East and West, and Lakota took over the IT program at their freshman school. All those combined resulted in a reduction of one staff member from the prior year. In 2020, there were 27 staff members. No additions or reductions in that COVID year. And then in 2021, there were 26 staff members, and that was due to the reduction of 2 CBI instructors. And again, that was at the request of Lakota, because with our multi-tier support system work that we were doing, we wanted to bring those people back in-house. And again, in speaking with Keith, that was done at essentially as close to cost neutral as we could make it, because we weren't sending those staff equivalents and the money over to Butler Tech. And we felt like we would be more successful with those students and working with them in-house. So that's why that change was made. So again, I wanted to share that with the rest of the board. Also, there is going to be a tour set up for all new board members, not just Lakota, but across all the districts in January. And I know that may not have happened for prior board members. So if they want to tag along as well, they can do that. And if there is a request for information from Butler Tech, they have requested that that go through the Butler Tech rep, just so they can better manage those requests and workflow, just because it can be a little challenging if there's 55 requests coming in. If it's a public record, certainly, but if it's something they have to look up, and sometimes I can certainly just get that information right from the system myself. So that was a request that was also made from them. So any questions?
Mrs. Shea?
Full report.
Okay, we are moving on to policy committee. Mr. Lovell, anything?
No, we do not have anything. We did not meet this month. Did you have anything?
Oh, sorry, policy, no.
Okay.
Legislative update. You want to start, Matt and Jenny, or do you want to start?
The only really thing that I had to mention was Governor DeWine signed Senate Bill 229, which is a lot with blended and remote learning, and Keith and his team have been on that. The other component that it did do was that the 3rd grade reading guarantee for this school year is not in effect. Those are the main highlights. So I just wanted to mention that.
Mrs. Logan?
I don't have anything to add.
Mrs. O'Connor, do you have anything?
No, not this time. Actually, we had a Southwest Regional meeting in which a new slate of officers were put in place. We also had discussion, as you know, one of our regional directors, Ron Diver, passed away earlier, about a year ago, and there's been a scholarship established in his name. So we'll be working on setting up that scholarship for students, and they will be announced that we're having it at the spring conference and then awarded at the fall conference.
Okay.
So we'll get those details out for the community.
Thank you. Excuse me. Mr. Miller, it's your turn again.
Thank you. Just a few updates for the board. One, I think I want to mention some of the COVID issues that we continue to go with. I don't want to jinx ourselves, but I will say that our former hot spots aren't as hot as what they were. So it's cooled off a little bit at Cherokee and Heritage. I think our hotspot now would be Creekside just lately, and there's a lot of crossovers. A lot of that is family transmission as well. Thanks to Mr. Vogelman and Lauren Brown for assisting with all of that. Things COVID that's still happening. Probably 70% of our positive cases are case 6. We saw a bump, which we anticipated after Thanksgiving, but it's back to where it was prior to Thanksgiving now. So I'm sure there'll be another slight bump, hopefully slight, coming back from winter break. So I want to mention that. Lakota, in conjunction with Middletown schools and several other schools in the area, Princeton and Springfield and Winton Woods and Yellow Springs, will be hosting the National League of Innovative Schools meeting this March. So we are looking forward to that. The 2 main districts will be Lakota and Middletown. And so we've been planning that. That'll be March 9th, 10th, and 11th, if that's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But I'll send more information to you. But we are excited to be showcasing what our students are doing at school. And we'll get to see some other people too, present from regional districts as well that are members of the League of Innovative Schools through Digital Promise. So It's a nice feather in our cap, I think. And then my last thing, I just want to give props because I probably don't get it enough is last night was our latest edition of Lakota Ed Chat, and Justin Frost and Justin Wilson, and I'm sure they had help because they're the Justins, but they did a phenomenal job on the Ed Chat last night. So it was nice to see a lot of our staff re-engage with that. And I have one other thing, but I'll save it for my closing comments.
Any questions for Mr. Miller? Awesome.
Thank you.
New business, excuse me, I've had this cold forever. New business. We, at the beginning of the year, obviously have to have an organizational meeting to appoint chairs and leadership positions. And so this is a little unique this year. I have spoken to all of the board members that are returning and the 2 new board members. We are kind of keeping that a fluid date for now. I will tell you, it will either be Monday, January 10th or Tuesday, January 11th. There may or may not be a superintendent and some board members at the table that plan on attending the national championship game if the Bearcats do indeed get it. So once in a lifetime thing especially for someone like me who attended the university for 4 years. And in those 4 years, I think they won 2 games. I'm reliving my youth.
That's all right.
So we will, as soon as we have that information, we will put that out there. All right, treasurer recommendation. I need a recommendation to approve A through B.
So moved.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Any questions? Mrs. Logan, you may call the roll when you're ready.
Mrs. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Lovell,
Yes.
Mr. Pearl,
Yes.
Mrs. Schaefer,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper.
Yes, I need a motion to approve superintendent recommendations A through C, personnel items, field trip, and donations.
So move.
Second. Any discussion? Again, you may call the roll, Mrs. Logan.
Mr. Pearl,
Yes.
Mrs. Schaefer,
Yes.
Mr. Lovell,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper.
Yes, we have reached the second part of our public comments, and I don't have anyone signed up unless someone didn't understand the form, which honestly, I'm a little confused by the form. So we may have to fix that.
We've changed it about 5 times, so we can change it again.
You did not.
Unless he was the first one that you called and
He's
No.
not.
That was Josh Cook.
okay.
So can he speak?
I'm open to letting him speak.
Sure, it's Christmas. Come on up. We will have to adjust this form because I'm a little confused by it as well.
Love the sweater.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to keep this brief, but I just wanted
Can you
to,
state your name, please? and
oh,
your
sorry,
address? That's-
Alex Argo, Coach House Way, Liberty Township. I'm going to keep this brief, but I just wanted to thank Mr. Lovell for all the thankless work that he has put in over his tenure on the board. I especially will miss your rants on diversity, as I know many others will. I hope we might get some more productive rants on behalf of our children and the taxpayers in the future, so long as they stay under the 3-minute public comment rule. I also wanted to thank Mr. Pearl for his service. I've gotten to know you a bit over the past few months, and I can't think of a better person to have been appointed at a time with so much division in our community. I hope you will also continue to stay involved. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty, we are at closing comments, and I am going to start with Mr. Miller.
Thank you. Just some brief statements, but I did make some notes. Mr. Pearl? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Because
That's fine.
There were 2 sections to check, so I agree with you. It needs to have both.
Yes, come. I don't, yeah, yeah, I'm with you.
We'll get that fixed.
We're going to fix that. It's confusing.
Thank you.
Remember your name and address, please.
Hunter Oswald, 4947 Streamside Court. First, I would like to congratulate
Changes
the
6.
2 new incoming board members, Mrs. Adi, Mr. Adi, and Mrs. Bodie. So glad to have them on the team. Ever since I first started My apologies, conditions. Ever since I started coming to these board meetings, I've always been told by the board and Matt Miller that CRT is not being taught in Lakota School District. I've repeatedly shown that this statement has been found untrue, and yet the situation has not been addressed properly. Yesterday, a father within the district contacted me to show information that was very deeply disturbing. His kid, who is a sixth grader at Cherokee Elementary, was given a Khan Academy assignment on December 14th, 2021 by their sixth grade English teacher. This assignment had students read an article and answer questions about Marley Diaz, a 16-year-old founder of 1,000 Black Girl Books and 2021 ambassador of the National Education Association. What made the assignment disturbing is that in the article it stated that Marley Diaz's reason for founding her organization is that she lost her interest in reading based on the fundamental premises that the books she was reading were about, quote, were about white boys and their dogs. Now, if you had a kid say that they lost their interest in reading because of a character's skin color, physical appearance, or any trait, I would hope that you would find that deeply disturbing as well as I did. This assignment is pure critical race theory indoctrination, as it promotes the idea that encourages people to look at things within the context of their own racial or ethnic identity rather than the context or message of the story. This is not the first time I've received an assignment like this. Apologies. This for the past 4 months across the district, parents have approached me to discuss similar assignments discussing the issue of race and principles of critical race theory as subliminal messages in various assignments. Is the school board okay with assignments that promote self-segregation and judging based on one's appearance? How can the board tell me that Lakota Schools is not teaching CRT after discovering the use of CRT sources like Teaching for Tolerance, 1619 projects, Stamped, Southern Poverty Law Center, and others by those in the administration? What is happening in Lakota Schools right now with CRT is pushing us back 164 years with the Dred Scott decision, Plessis versus Ferguson, and Korematsu case. The issue, some within the community and the board have justified these items under the pretext of equity and equality. The issue with the reasoning is that it's paradoxical, as equality seeks to expand opportunities with various outcomes to students, while equity aims to force equal outcomes by arbitrary means that benefit some at the expense of others. Aristotle once said, "The worst form of inequality is to make unequal things equal." As a citizen and former student of this district, I want to see the students do way better. I want to see them excel in the areas that they wish. I ask that the new incoming board make Lakota's curriculum a top priority to make a new curriculum that ensures every student within the district receives an education that will make them both college ready and workforce ready, which will make this community stronger, united, and prosperous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really quick, I just can mention that the parent that had the issue had a conversation today with the principal and with Mr. Coney, so it's been
I'm sorry,
addressed.
I can't hear you, Mr. Miller.
The parent that was referenced in his conversation had a phone call today with the principal and with Mr. Coney, so I think we're in a good spot.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Ask if there's anyone else.
Is there anybody else that thought they signed up? Okay, just want to make sure. Now we will go to Mr. Miller's closing comments.
Thank you. Just a couple quick things. First of all, Mr. Pearl, thank you for coming in under difficult circumstances. We needed you. And with all the other duties you have, which are a lot, probably didn't know as many as before you stepped on. But thanks for stepping in and stepping up, and we appreciate that. You didn't just keep the seat warm. You helped get us where we are today. You were instrumental in advancing our district, not just in this room, but in the district and region wide too. So thank you. And I can't thank you enough, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lovell, as a father of young kids in the district, you certainly have a different lens than not everybody, but a lot of people, but also you couple that with being married to an educator, also being an administrator in this district, in your current role with Sycamore and previously with Hamilton County. So you bring a whole different set of community connectors, which also benefited the school board, also with Crossroads, Optimist Club and things, and very active community member. You have a unique perspective, as I mentioned, on Lakota and its systems. Also know what it's like in other districts. And so that's another perspective that sometimes if you're in one spot, you don't see what else is out there. So I appreciate this perspective with us, with our strengths, with our weaknesses, things that we still need to go through and work on. But thank you for your support and push to make Lakota a great place. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And really quick, just for the greater good, we're still in session. So if you have conversations, you might want to make them like a walk and talk on the way out, just because we have kids and changing bells and dismissal soon too. So we're glad you're here. I just don't want you to get caught in lots of 7th and 8th graders.
Well, I said some things during my opening comments, and just want to add, I know you're still, just because you're not going to be a board member in January does not mean that you're still not passionate about this district. And so I know it's not goodbye. It's just, I'll see you later. And thank you. I really appreciate everything you guys have done.
Thank you.
My turn.
Your turn.
Thank you for this time. Thank you for those that spoke, and appreciate emails, text messages, calls, Facebook posts that I've received over the last couple of days, knowing that this was my last meeting. And I kind of said some of this at the last meeting too. When I got into this, I really did it for really just 2 reasons: to give back to this great district that has been such a blessing to me and my family, and because I'm passionate about young people. With over, all of my professional life has all been circled around serving and helping young people, and with a variety of backgrounds, socioeconomic status, all that stuff, and that doesn't stop. This has been a wild ride, but it's one that I don't regret. Again, to this board, thank you so much for voting me in, for allowing me to save this seat, to get into this seat. I learned a lot. Learned a whole lot about myself, but about the process and about our community. To Kelly, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for and the board for trusting me to be in this seat. Again, it's been truly an honor. I guess the only thing I will add, and it's a conversation that obviously will continue to be had, and it should be had, is one about the importance of celebrating diversity. And when we say diversity, it goes beyond race. It goes beyond sexual identity and gender. This district is more than just that. We have a community of kids that speak a number of languages. We have socioeconomic status, and all I'm saying all that to say, since the election, I've been so honored that people have reached out to me. And honestly, these are people who are worried, and they are concerned. And I hope that the board going forward will truly listen to everybody. It's easy to listen to those who think like you, agree with you, even look like you. But I think we are better board members when we consider the greater good. That while you are a voice for those who elected you to this role, you got to remember who you're a voice to. And there are kids listening. There are families listening and watching. There are teachers and administrators who are listening and watching. And while you can agree, you can stay on task, do what you had planned on doing. But I think we are better board members when we listen to the greater community as well, and just take their thoughts and opinions and their perspectives in great consideration. I've had the privilege to do that. Every email we got during the whole mask debate, every call, every conversation that I've had, and I've gone out of my way to meet with those who don't agree with me, and even had phone calls with these folks. And even though we got up from the table, we may not have come to an agreement on anything. I think both of us walked away at least understanding each other better. And I think that's what's really important. And if we're going to unite this community, even though there's still going to be disagreements, we have to start there. So I would just encourage this district and the board and specifically to really, don't concentrate just on those who you speak for, but really take in consideration those you're speaking to, because people are watching and listening. This is an important role. It's not a glamorous role. If anybody's getting it for glamour and glitz, it's the wrong job. But it's one that I have so appreciated. So going forward, I just want to again thank everybody. Thank those who have reached out over the last couple of weeks. I'll continue to be one of Lakota's biggest fans and supporters, and look at ways of continuing to bridge the gap, bridge our community together however I can. And my door is always open. I'm available. I'll make myself available to have these conversations that need to be had so we can continue to move this district forward. To Matt and Jenny, again, you guys are rock stars. I was so proud when we went to the board conference, state board conference, how everyone just spoke very highly of you too. And it's been an honor to work with you guys so much. And again, this board too. And then I want to get shout out to all our wonderful teachers, man. We got some great teachers, administrators, many of which I didn't know until I got in this role. But I want to continue to look at ways that we can support them as well. And then obviously to our students and to every student. I still want to advocate for you the best way I can, even if I'm not behind this table, and I'll continue to do that. So God bless you. I wish nothing but the very best for our district. Thank you.
Your class act, Mr. Pearl. Brad and Michael both, I want to thank you both for your public service, your year and your 4 years, Brad. You have both had an impact on the district. And I think the best decision making that we can possibly make is when there's diversity of thought around the table. And so though we may have disagreed at times, I very much appreciate and respect what you've brought to the table, and I wish you well in the future.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate Mr. Adi. That was a nice moment. Nice that you had some people turn out to support you and family here for you as well. Matt, thank you for thinking outside of the box. This was a really nice way to end the year and our students coming in and singing for us. It's always great to highlight them and remind us of why we're here. So thanks, and I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and hope that we have safe travels over the holidays and wonderful time with our loved ones as well.
Congratulations to all of our staff for making it through another challenging semester. Again, I think the current situation continues to challenge everyone to be all they can be, and everyone continues to rise to that occasion. So I think everyone's looking forward to Wednesday and a much needed break, but thankful for all the successes we've seen in student achievement for this semester and all the learning that's taken place. So thank you to everyone for all they've contributed to that. Michael, when you walked in for your interview, I'm not sure if we'd met or not. I think we may have, but again, I think we were all blown away by your use of we from day one, from that interview, and just how inclusive you were from the moment we met in that room. And you haven't stopped since. So I'm so thankful for what you've contributed. You are absolutely the right person for the job. And I appreciate, again, our friendship that has developed since you've been on the board. And everything you've contributed to Lakota and how much you've given. So thank you for everything you've been willing to contribute. Gosh darn it. Brad, I think back to, I first got to know you when you were my kid's principal. And I think back, especially for me, the day that stands out the most is the day after Sandy Hook. When you were out there in your pajamas, and I was dropping off my little one in their pajamas, and you sat there and welcomed them in, and I thought, here's a man who would lay down his life for my child if it was necessary. And I know that you have a love for every child in Lakota. That's that same love that I felt that day as I let my little one bound out of the van, oblivious to what had happened the day before in Connecticut. And I am so thankful that you shared that passion for every child in your 4 years at Lakota and poured that same energy into your role on the board and fought for every student and every staff member. And I hope you continue to advocate from out there instead of here. And thank you for your service. So.
Thank you. I have been doing, I was telling Matt and Jenny and folks before this that I've been, it's funny, the last, 8 to 9 months, it's just been like, when's this over? And obviously I say that tongue in cheek, but it has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I think we can all attest that the last, we'll just say 12 months rounded out has been hard. It's been hard emotionally. It's been hard physically on our bodies as well. I would say probably just because there's a tremendous amount of pressure to do what's right for our community, not the state, not the country, but our community, because this is a local board of education and we serve the people that live within our community. And that's what makes it so hard. And Senator Lang said just that, right? School boards, and you'll hear that from politicians across the country through the ages, serving on your local school board is the hardest elected position because we are on the front lines with the stakeholders. And so I just say that because there's disagreement. We'll always have disagreement. In fact, I think disagreement's healthy because it's checks and balances. It keeps us in order. But it's been an honor and privilege to serve with everybody on this board over the last 4 years. Michael, just specifically to you, you stepped in a difficult place. I can't remember how many people we had actually apply, over 50.
Over 50, and we interviewed 16 people.
And they were beyond impressive. And it was a hard decision, but we knew that you would be able to step into a place for this remaining term and be a voice for the community. And I believe that God placed you here for a specific reason. I do believe that. And I think you've served well and you've done well in that. And to the other fellow board members, we all have unique relationships, right? And we all agree and disagree with things. But I thank you for your service alongside me and for answering all those stupid questions in year one. And there'll be a lot of stupid questions to those board members that are coming on. There's a lot I could say or want to say, but I think that the main point that I want people to hear when I'm going out is this. We are public servants. That's what we are. We are a representation of our community and we're elected in. And maybe I'm speaking to the two folks that are coming in, or maybe my fellow board members that are finishing out another term. It's not always your idea that wins. It's not always what you believe to be best is that carries. To Mr. Pearl's comment, we all live in echo chambers, whether you believe it or not, we do. We surround ourselves by people that think and act like we do. We try to get out of those. I intentionally try to find people that think different than me. But we can't believe that voice and that thought represents 17,000 kids, 2,000 employees, and 100,000 residents. It's intentional work that has to be done to bust out of that, to hear those voices. You can disagree. I have busted out of my echo chamber and heard voices, and I look and I go, absolutely, that's not what I believe. There have been times that I thought I believed something, and I've actually changed my attitude multiple times and gone, gosh, man, I never actually thought about that way, or show me some more information. And so as a board member, because we represent our community, I think it's just really important that we take a step back, every one of us, and we always check ourselves, and we always take a step back and say, am I representing the full voice of our community? This group that stood up here, I don't know if anybody else noticed this, that had to have been the most diverse group of students I think I've ever seen in Lakota in one group. I mean, I know people in that and I know backgrounds, but just a visual take would tell you that that's Lakota. That's Lakota. That's our community. And so how do you, I'm out of this, how do you as a board, as a governing board, not management, governing board, create policies and talk about equity and things like that affect those kids so that we can be in a place where, like Ms. Fair said earlier, that this remains a destination district. People choose to be here. And I think it's because of the diversity, because of our staff, because of our administration, because of the things and the programs that we do. And so I am leaving the board in a really good place. I chose not to run. I chose not to continue this time on the board. It's not because it was hard. It's not because I didn't enjoy it. I loved it. It was the hardest thing I ever did. I don't regret any minute of it, like I'm sure you all don't regret. It was just time for my family, for me to step aside and spend time with my family. So just remember, you're a governing body. You're not the management. We hire two amazing human beings that are sitting across from me. And I just really quick want to just talk individually about them, but they are the heart and soul of our team. They represent the 2,000 employees that our taxpayers support and our students and our families rely on every day. They wouldn't be there. We all know this. They would not be there if they weren't the best. They wouldn't be there. We know that. Matt, you, I think for the 4 years, right? You came on the August before I took, seat in January. And so I remember the moment that we met after, actually it was right before I was running, I think. I was trying to decide and I met you and I thought, I'm all in, I can do this, right? And the reason for that is you had this vision. You had this bold vision for the district. And I kept thinking in my mind, if this man can actually pull off what he says he's going to do, he's going to be a miracle worker. And over the last 4 years, I continue to be impressed by your ability to build culture, to rally our teams. And you say every time when I say, Matt, thank you, it's not me, it's the team. And even though I get really frustrated because you're the leader we hire, we don't hire everybody else, we hire you, you know, it's like, the reality is that you are a big cheerleader, and that is what Lakota needed when you came in. Not that our team didn't have that, is that we needed a cheerleader, we needed a coach, we needed a culture builder, and I've been able to experience that. And for those of you, I get this asked all the time, is Matt really that way? Yeah, he is. Like, what you get is what you see is what you get. And I just appreciate your authenticity and your passion for Lakota and your love for our staff and our teachers, even through hard times. Jenny, you are phenomenal. You are a different type of thinker than me. I appreciate you so much. I knew you obviously when I was in the district. We had a different relationship then, but I was always impressed with your ability to stand in the how might we. I remember specific conversations as a building principal and having to come to you because I was requesting something for the building, and I knew it would never be met with a no. It would be met with, tell me, let's talk this out. How might we get this done? And so, you know, just because I'm that type of person, I love that because it gets you to a place where we're thinking innovatively. You are the reason we are where we are right now financially. Yes, we've had a board that supports you, Jenny, but you are the reason. And so on behalf of my family, generations that have gone through Lakota, the good, the bad, the ugly, Jenny, I just thank you for your dedication to our families and to our taxpayers, for holding people accountable, but being a place where we can sit here right now, know that we've gone 10 years without going to our taxpayers, which is unheard of, have a cash balance as strong as we have, and academic programs that are thriving. And I know you won't agree and say it's you, but it is. You're the constant through all of the leadership changes. You make Matt look good. So let's be real. So thank you to you both. I could go on and on and on, but I'm not. I hope that the teachers and the administrators and our families understand how passionate I am about this school district and this community that we live in. We have the best staff, the best administrators in town. So I'll end with that and just thank the community for giving me a shot these past 4 years.
There's really not a lot left for me to say, is there? First of all, I do want to echo Mrs. Schaefer's thanking of the staff, the teachers, and the students. God love them for hanging in there and doing what they need to do and getting themselves where they need to be. It's been tough, we know. So kudos to them, and to Matt and his team. Thank you for all you've done to get them where they are today. Congratulations to our newest board member. I look forward to having you sit on this side of the table next month. I do want to say that we have gifts for Mr. Pearl and Mr. Lovell, but unfortunately, like everything, the supply chain, they did not arrive in time. So maybe we'll have you back at a future meeting to give you your little going away gifts.
You can drop it off at my house.
Come on. What everybody said is absolutely true. I do want to add, Mr. Pearl, we've known each other a long time, but our friendship has grown tons since you've sat on the board, and I appreciate you and I love you, and I'm thrilled that you sat at this table, even if it was for the short time that you did. And I know, again, like Mrs. Logan said, you aren't going to stop advocating for Lakota kids. So, Mr. Lovell, we came in together. It hasn't always been easy, but it has always been fun and interesting. So again, I appreciate how much our friendship has grown. I'm now the great aunt to your children, but I have enjoyed sitting at this seat with you, and I will miss you. And I, again, like Mr. Pearl, expect you to still support Lakota. I will miss the text from both of you asking me what you should wear. That has really been the highlight of my years with them both. So I will miss that. But again, thank you for everything you have done. We will miss you. On a personal note, this is my last official meeting as president. It's been a ride, to say the least, but I still don't think everything we've been through in the last 4 years, and especially the last 2 years, all the upheaval, all the strife, everything that's gone on, wouldn't change my mind for a minute. I would still continue to do this because these kids are my passion. This district is my passion. And so it's been an honor to sit in this seat, even though I'm sure there are people that will be glad to see me go, but it has been an honor to sit here. So I would also like to wish all of you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Take some to our staff, take some much needed time for yourself. I'm not speaking for Mr. Miller, but I would suggest you deactivate your email for over the holidays. All right. All right. That's all. So this has been very fun, and your out of the box thinking was a good idea. I have to admit, because when you first said that, I was like, what? In the middle
Other
of the day?
thinking would be to let you know that class changes in 5 minutes.
Oh, sorry. I've talked the least. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Mrs. Logan, may you call the roll?
Sorry. Mr. Lovell,
Yes.
Mr. Pearl.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mrs. Schaefer,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Made it.